Kick back at the castle, pole on tuck, if these odds want battle. They gon' eat shells, I'ma feed them ammo. Barrel got big knife, call it big Rambo. Pour another cup, baby, go ahead, smoke some weed. Hit that telegram, yeah, you know I got what you need. I love all my hoes, I ain't never met no team.
Let's go.
Are we good? We in?
We're in.
We're totally in the frame?
Yes, sir.
Mic check. Okay, cool.
And I feel like I gotta get away.
All right.
Okay.
I won't do that again for another year.
What's that?
Be that unprepared.
Hey, put your eye to this. Does that look like a decent shot?
Perfect shot.
No.
But his eye usually sucks because
He's got a discerning
like, is that
eye
good?
for
And
detail.
then I look
No, it's really good.
It's sharp. And I got it
Oh,
on.
y'all don't trust me.
No,
I hate
Beans
being
doesn't trust
untrusted.
anybody is what it is.
I hate being untrusted.
really good.
That's what I...
And go. Yay. Let's go.
Just one request. Don't make this podcast about me at all.
Okay. I like that.
Don't mention me. Don't introduce me. But I'm happy to be on it.
No,
Just-
I love that because sometimes all the time we get into just fucking talking,
That's
right?
Yeah, those are the best podcasts.
Some people, I feel like they're like, hey,
No.
you brought me here.
No. And I was
like-
being a little sarcastic, but also
Yeah.
I definitely hate it when it's like, who's your biggest influence? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, I want to talk about the fucking real shit. I
Yeah,
don't know.
me too.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, like people dying on cruise ships, bro.
Dude. Happy
so
to share.
What a fucking fact that was.
I didn't mean to scare you.
On average, one person dies on every cruise?
I would guess that. I would,
Oh,
'cause
okay.
No, I mean, I feel
Because he
like,
sees them all.
I would say, I make sure to visit the morgue daily and see who the fresh
And
ones
if one
are.
hasn't died, I take care of the business.
Yeah. It's never violent deaths. It's always just old people running out.
And he can't even be classified as a serial killer because he's just doing one of fucking shit.
I can't be traced because everything's covered in other people's fingerprints. So yeah, the DNA from the last 6,000 people that stayed in that room are in there. I think I'm gonna get away with it.
Okay. We're just going to watch our reality.
Yeah, I feel like that's a TV show right there, like the cruise ship murderer or something.
Dude, I always wanted a cruise ship zombie apocalypse. If you had nowhere to go, wouldn't that be a great? I love zombie movies, but yeah, but that'd be it too. Yeah. You just have to pick your battles.
Cruise
You
of
could
the
barricade
Dead.
your
There you
place
go.
into some certain areas, but I think it'd be fun.
Well, it's almost one a year. An average of 200 deaths occur on cruise ships every year.
Oh, that's not anywhere near what I thought. I guess I've just had bad luck.
Almost one.
Still like one a cruise.
But you saw two at one time?
Three. Roll past me. Yeah. It was like a 2-week long cruise, and a lot of people in their 70s and 80s kind of go on cruise ships. So
on their way out anyway.
precisely. Yeah, I've been in the middle of a comedy show, and they have a code alpha announcement over the entire ship over the loudspeakers. So like I'm mid joke, and they're just like code alpha.
Oh, no.
4th floor, room 411. 4th floor, room 411, and everybody on the ship knows someone's died. That's a medical emergency.
That was totally not my fault.
Code Alpha.
Code Alpha.
Code Alpha.
All right, there we go.
So code alpha means somebody died.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
does it mean an old person died?
No, it just means
Ah.
medical emergency, but usually code alpha is exclusively for when they're sending up like the full paramedic unit and
Like
they're
a
having-
crash cart and all that stuff.
Yeah. Something serious has happened if a code alpha is getting called, and like
God.
code Oscar, someone goes overboard Oscar.
Yeah.
There's
Oscar's overboard.
yeah.
And you've heard that?
Yeah. I was on a ship where a dude jumped, and they were able to get him, which is very rare.
Shit.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
But they dropped him off at the next port and kicked him and his luggage off and said, "Good luck to you." Like,
Oh, they didn't arrest him?
no.
Oh, because he jumped off?
Yeah, he jumped off willingly. He was just trying to impress his friends, like some college douchebag.
Like that one kid
Yeah,
that did that and
Exactly
didn't
right,
get
and
found.
did not get found. Exactly.
Damn.
It's wild out there.
Were you on that one where the kid jumped off?
No.
That would have been cool.
There's so many cruise ships you don't even know. They're like every port. There's like 3 other cruise lines parked at the same port. So this poor city of like Ensenada, Mexico, or whatever is getting 60,000 people just descended upon them all of the sudden. And the whole city is like, oh, they're going to want chicles. They're going to want sombreros. I know it. They're going to want chess sets for sure. Yeah.
And they do.
And they do. I came here for chess sets. Do you have something different, something new?
Like
That's how they reel you in. Something different, something new, something different. All right.
So do you get off at the port?
Whoa, buddy.
Yeah.
Of course he is. He's a man. We
Do
all
you get off at the
All
port?
my socks are starched. Yeah, definitely. Especially the ones like we were talking about earlier with Graham Hancock.
Yeah.
Any place, any port that I have where there's some ancient civilization, I get off and see it just because.
Hell yeah.
When else will I be that close?
Have you ever been to that? There's one that you could walk up, but they don't allow it anymore because Justin Bieber went there or some shit.
It's
And
holy
caused
ground
a
now because
ruckus?
Bieber was there?
No, it caused a ruckus.
Oh.
Well, that was what it was supposed to be, but it turned out that somebody fell down the steps and died.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, and they had to put a stop to it.
To the
But that
cruise?
was one where no, it was like one of the pyramids in South America or in Mexico or some shit.
Isn't that weird, right?
But that was one where they did sacrifices of like thousands of people back in the day. So I'm like, it was one person fell down the fucking stairs.
There was a clip where a woman walked up those stairs and walked down the stairs, and it's roped off. You're not supposed to go there. Have you seen that clip where the whole crowd of people, they're like throwing water bottles at her, they're losing their fucking minds over her? And are you looking it up?
Because she's going?
People booing lady because she's going up and down. Yeah, they just and she's acting. Yeah, she's acting like a total bitch. She is acting like a total bitch.
Oh man.
She's like,
it's a Karen?
yeah, totally. I love how pissed off people get. Fuck you.
So she's not supposed to be up there?
No, it's roped off.
Oh, shit.
It's amazing there weren't authorities grabbing her then, because when she gets down, they take her. Fuck, she's going in.
What if an ancient person just fucking walked out and revealed themselves after all this time just to throw her down the stairs?
Hey, security.
Shame.
Getting her hair pulled. Oh,
Damn, Cersei.
For real. Hey, security didn't want to go
Street
get her.
justice.
Yeah. Bro.
Go back like 2 seconds. That girl after she threw it. Look at that girl after she threw it. Oh no, a little bit.
Oh, the one that was smiling?
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Here she goes. Look.
Yeah, she was thrilled.
Yeah, I got that bitch.
Like, how much better of a person does it make you,
Right.
to do that to somebody that did some fucked up shit? I don't know.
It doesn't make you better, but it's
It feels good?
yeah.
It feels good.
I guess.
It's like if somebody came and pissed in your refrigerator. It doesn't make you better that you knock them the fuck out, but it does.
It offers instant relief.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. We all came up at a time where you could learn a lesson from either getting whooped or whooping someone's ass.
Facts.
And that's not the case anymore.
No.
Like it just, it's all words. It's all keyboards. It's all hidden.
Or guns.
I would always tell my older brother that when he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck you up. All you're gonna teach me is I could take an ass whooping. Then I'm gonna keep talking shit afterwards. Like,
You're going to Joe Pesci him. I'm going to come back.
yeah.
Wow.
You may knock me up, but I wake up and my mouth still works.
Have you ever been on a fight in a cruise ship?
No.
Have you ever been on a fight, period?
Yeah, shitloads. Yeah. Junior high school. Fuck it. Elementary, junior high school, college. Shitloads.
Who were you fighting?
I never started them. I never started a fight. I've never picked a fight ever.
Yeah.
Here's a simple rule. You do not have to respect me, but I will not take disrespect.
Yeah.
So I'm real quick, like corrective action. I'm about it. So this is not tough. This is not me acting like I know shit.
Right.
I wrestled, I boxed. So that just gives me a little bit of familiarity with my body and what
Yeah.
most people can and can't do.
And
but
the confidence.
now someone your size with a little bit of BJJ training would fucking pretzel me up and I'm crying. So I don't pick fights now. Even if I win a fight at my age, I will lose. I'm sore for like the next week and a half. It feels like someone kicked me out of a moving car on the freeway. So
Damn.
I think I've expired on fighting people. But yeah, back in the day, it was like I was like dudes grabbing girls' asses at clubs. It's my favorite thing to do.
Kick his ass.
If I ever saw it, I would go straight to the girl. Do you know that guy? And they'd be like, no, I don't know him. And I would walk up, get his attention, and knock him out. That was my favorite shit.
So they never had Grab Ass Friday, or what did y'all have? In
it was Slap Ass Fridays in middle school.
Slap Ass Fridays.
I didn't know you did time.
Yeah.
He did do time.
And I did do time.
Couldn't tell.
You're a good judge of character.
That's why he has a prison watchtower on his arm.
Fuck yeah.
That's hilarious. But yeah, we had Slap Ass Friday and we would go to the girls and slap them in the ass.
Damn.
You think you'd be able to crab walk out of prison?
Crab walk out of prison?
Yeah. Did you hear about that guy? No. You didn't hear about that guy?
Yeah.
Did you hear about the guy that crab walked out of prison? Dude, like 2 weeks ago.
Hilarious.
In Pennsylvania or Virginia? Yeah, first video.
Oh yeah. Now I remember. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious because my son
They found
crab
him.
walks.
Yeah.
Okay, so they found him.
Yeah.
You know that murderer that was on the loose for a while? Is that him?
That was him.
That's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear
Excepto.
Did you hear that question in the press conference?
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, were you afraid that he was going to team up with another gentleman? And
Another
hide
small gentleman.
another small gentleman under a trench coat, Little Rascal style. And everybody was just dumped for 2 seconds. They're like, is that a real? No. And then they went back to the press conference. I'm like,
We have to see that part. It was a legit journalist asking. I don't know if it was a legit journalist.
Little Rascal
but they were at a
style.
press conference asking legit journalist questions.
Right after they caught him and they were having the press conference, we've caught the murderer. Do we have any questions? I've got one. Were you afraid that he was going to team up with another smaller gentleman under a trench coat, Little Rascal style?
Oh, what the shit.
It's so.
Sir, was there any concern that he would team up with another small man to step inside the trench coat, Little Rascal style?
Like, are you fucking? No.
Oh,
All right.
man.
I want that time back.
Yeah, and then he went on the run. He was in the woods.
But how did he crab walk? Like straight up, like
Oh shit, we were gonna watch that part too, right?
You know how you used to like hop around your hallway when you were young?
Yeah.
I came along.
Damn. Just,
Damn.
Good job.
The videos, the ads.
It's like a whole
DHL.
commercial. It's like
Dick
Super
hugging
Bowl
lips.
commercial.
but was he
Or
like that?
DSL too, like what?
Did he crab walk like that with his
You're
pincers and everything?
stupid.
Sideways.
Yeah, dude, that's what my son does. And
outta here.
I hate it, bro.
Why?
Because he's doing it to be a douche.
To be a douche?
Yeah.
Look, there he goes.
There's
Good hair.
Yeah, and then he shaved it off to try to disguise. Boom.
Oh,
Look at that. You couldn't do that, right?
Fuck no, dude. But there was a dude I was locked up with that got
Sky.
caught in the ceiling trying to escape.
Really?
Yeah. They fucking threw him in the. They had to fucking like send people up there to just like pull him back out because it was like a what it was like a sky ride, like a what is
The acoustic panels.
something like that, but it was see through, so you could see the sun. Like that's where we get our sunlight.
skylight.
From. Yeah, skylight. And he fucking tried to. I guess he thought I could just go straight through there, but once he got in there, he couldn't. He had to start like crawling in through the fucking the wall.
The duck?
Yeah,
Oh,
the ducks.
shit.
Yeah,
And he got stuck?
Yeah, he got stuck.
Did he have to start calling? Hey, help!
Nah.
All right. Help. I tried.
They went.
They hurt him?
Yeah, they got him immediately. It was him and another dude.
Damn. That's crazy. Have you ever been in jail, John?
No, I've been arrested a couple.
You've been arrested?
I got arrested for shoplifting from Academy. I'll tell you that scam.
Was
real
it for
simple.
a shoddy?
No. I used to, you know how they have like barbecue grills and deer feeders out on display?
Yeah.
I would take a box that had like a deer feeder or a little smoky barbecue. I would take the barbecue pit out, set it on the shelf because that looks normal. Shit's always on display. I would take that empty box, put it into my shopping cart, walk around and fill it up full of shit I wanted. And then I would go get they always have sales carts around the store.
Yeah.
I'd grab clear tape, close that box and buy the $25 barbecue grill.
Oh.
I did this lots in high school. I just ran out of things to steal. Swear to God. Like I was and then you get caught once and that corrects that shit. Like after that, I stole only one time. I was in Vegas, Boulder City, Nevada. It's just outside. And I got this tiny little bottle of like hair. It's like it makes your hair less frizzy. It's when I had an afro. And I just put a little bit of oil in it just so it would like just lay down normal. And that bottle was $21 at this CVS. And in my head, I'm like, fuck no. And I put it in my pocket. And as I was walking through the door, I had a genuine panic attack. Like my heart rate elevated.
Out of nowhere?
I remember it was like PTSD. I remember getting arrested and how embarrassing and trashy that felt. And I walked out, and the whole walk back to my hotel from that CVS or that Walgreens, whatever it was, I just felt like at any moment the cops are going to come grab me. I felt bad. I slept like shit.
Damn.
And the next day I came back to the store. I got that product off the shelf. I went up to the register, paid for it, and then ditched that bottle in the store and left. I left it on top of the newspaper stand as I was exiting. I was like, that belongs here. Now the fucking world is right.
Everything's in balance.
That's the last time I tried to steal. That shit is
He's not the Austin serial killer.
My friend steals Pokemon cards from Walmart.
Really?
Good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, and he resells them?
Yeah, but what he does is he puts them in a folder, like and then stuffs them all in there, and then goes through the fucking
self-checkout.
Good
man.
With the pays for the folder.
No, listen, I appreciate good stealing, because when I was shoplifting, I was like the way that Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind, the way he would see numbers, I would see strategies on how to steal shit. I swear to God, it started when I was a kid. It'd be bubble gum, it'd be candy, it'd be a soda, but I always I don't know why. I think it was just being raised poor, like something about that stains your DNA, and you're like, I'll just fucking take it. Like, the world's not fair. It's never fair.
I used to be like that with bikes
For
as
real?
a kid.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
So it is bad.
You
like, I
ended
think
the
about
dreams of many kids.
a lot.
Oh.
A fucking lot. And I had another kid.
I thought he was that, and I had a bike.
No, I never had a bike. I always had a bike, but I never had my own bike.
And your parents were never like, where the fuck did this come from?
My mom never asked me anything about anything.
That's funny.
Yeah, one time the cops showed up to question me, and she stood up for me, and she didn't even know that I did it.
Wait, how many times have the cops shown up at your place?
That was that one time. That was that one time that I told the story. What was I talking about?
The bike stealing.
Oh yeah. So I had a guy who I would take the bikes to, and then he was like my chop shop. So his backyard, and his parents never asked him, why the fuck do you have like hundreds of bikes back here?
That's funny.
And my cousins, we were all in the car one time, and they were telling a friend of theirs, like, this dude's crazy. Like, he'll just steal a bike anywhere. Like, we'll just be walking. He just grabs the bike and takes it. And he's like, really? Like, what the fuck's your problem? And I was like, I don't know. You want me to steal that bike right there? We were just passing by a house. And he was like, you won't do it. And I was like, let me off. And so he lets me off. And the family's in the living room with the windows open, like with the curtains open. And the bike is right there, and the bush is right in front of the window. And I just get on it. They just see me just riding off with their bike.
Wow. That's cold.
That could have been a fucking BMX star, and you just...
And I killed it.
I could. I morally can't steal from people, but like when I hear someone stealing, cards from Walmart, I'm not hurt by that. That's a corporation. They'll be fine. They overcharge for everything.
Oh, what do you think about what they do like at in like San Francisco? I think they don't, was it $1,000 or something? Like if you steal less than $1,000, you don't get charged. So people just go in and they don't care. They just go and grab shit and just take it. CVS, they're just running wild. Like they just go and they just grab shit and they're like, I don't care. You're like, get away from me.
When I see store employees that are like, let me see in your bag. I'm like, why do you care, bro? You're literally getting paid $12.50 an hour.
It's true.
It's not your store. It's not. Shrinkage is something. I remember managing stores here and there, and I'd say 40 to 50% of shrinkage or theft is internal. It's your employees taking it because they know the inner workings. They throw things in the trash can, take it to the dumpster, things like that. So you're fighting a fight you can't honestly win.
Wow.
We just gave out all the deets on how to steal from places today.
For real.
Yeah.
Dude, do you remember you're 40? How old are you guys?
I'm 43.
43? Fuck, you guys look so young.
I'm 36. 3.
Oh shit.
33?
Yeah.
Damn, you're real young. But he looks younger than you. He's happier. He does.
Twice.
He does.
That's twice somebody said that.
It's probably just, I know it sounds funny. It's probably glasses.
Fatter and younger.
probably.
Yeah. But do you remember?
You should have seen him fucking bomb last
You
night.
had freedom in high schools. You could get away with shit in high schools.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, the year after we all left high school, there were cameras everywhere. There were security officers everywhere.
shit.
It went to zero tolerance because we were the worst of the worst.
My
and
bad.
we introduced, I know, I streaked. We
That's
released
crazy. We
animals
didn't
into our
have
high
cameras.
school. Yeah, dude. We went all out.
You streaked?
Yeah. That was a tradition in our high school. Someone streaks. I streaked my junior year.
That you could be registered as a sex offender.
Could have, but I was, I could have been.
Who did that? There was a rapper who recently, or who has to register now because he did something like,
He streaked?
I think so. Yeah, good luck finding that. What did you do before you were a comedian? Like you're a comedian full time, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Right?
I mean,
It's
just
the same.
outside looking in,
Yeah. No, it's
still a job, right?
yeah. It's luckily it never feels like work. So I'm grateful. I very much consider myself retired because the money makes sense. The time that it's just never felt like work. Like even when I bomb or even when I have to do like a clean show I've done active retirement communities before. Does not matter. The check makes sense. And that means I get to spend more time at home with my wife. But you guys already know entertainment just in general, success looks like not being home a lot. Like it means you're very busy. And so my price changes on the fact that I do comedy for free, but you're paying me to leave my house.
Yeah.
And I really love being home. So that price keeps going up. It's just a weird thing. You kind of, but it is the most fun. And I realize kind of the higher reason for doing it too is that I said earlier, everybody's dealing with something. Everybody at this table, everybody out there, everyone you run into is broken in some way or repairing or at the bottom.
Right.
And so comedy, music, magic, juggling, I don't care what it is, you're offering those people a departure from whatever that reality is. So maybe you give them an hour where they don't have to think about divorce or lost their job or whatever. So when you start entertainment, like most of us, when we dip our toe into, I want to do this, I want people to hear me and see me, it's normally a selfish motivation in the beginning. Like when I got into comedy, I was like, I'm just funny and I'm competitive and I need to be seen. That was probably 6 months. And after that, you need to find a higher purpose in what you're doing. Otherwise, that's going to burn out quick. So for me, it was having people, and you've had this too, but people will come up to you after a show, or maybe someone's come up to you and be like, we listened to your podcast, bro. I was having a real bad week. I discovered you guys. I really like your shit. And those compliments stick with you. Like people having a really hard time and saying, dude, I haven't laughed in a month, but tonight was the best night and the first night I laughed in a month. And I'm like, get in, bro. This is why I do it.
Man, that's what happened to me yesterday, dude. I had the best fucking laugh of the night yesterday was when he fell.
Dude, you could hear it.
I felt.
We have to.
We're at that age too where it's not funny. Not initially.
No, it was,
If we could get to your messenger.
Go.
it's in our chat.
Dude, like I'm at the age, like we don't fall like we used to. We clap. We're adults now. And when we fall, people, it's funny, but it's initially like, I hope that dude's okay. And then when they find out you're okay, then it becomes
Not with
funny.
him. He just, the minute
Well, 'cause
he saw it,
y'all-
he's like, yeah, no.
No, of
Look,
course.
check it out. Check it out.
Here it is.
That's my wife. She was walking. Thankfully, she took the cake because he.
Oh my
No,
God.
she told you the story behind that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell it in a second. Let's watch the video.
What is he carrying?
Cookies.
Oh, I hope that box keeps its integrity.
There we go.
Oh no, it's open topped.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm being careful right here too.
Oh, yeah, man,
Look, here it comes.
nothing can ruin my day. I'm just so.
What?
Look.
Your ankle just went, yeah.
Yeah, but listen.
Yeah, all you.
That laughing, that's him in the fucking car. That's how loud he's laughing. And then the one coming up is my wife, and she's not asking if I'm okay. She's like, would you get up?
Yeah.
You should have proposed to her. Oh, you're already married, but it would have been great.
Howl laughing.
Yeah.
I
He was
can't
fucking
control.
laughing hard.
That's brilliant.
there was no delay in his start of laughing from when you fell. Like there was no like, is he having a heart attack? Like
It's the
Just
face.
a small change in the topography. Like,
Yeah, all you.
that's such a good laugh. You gave that person a gift.
there you go.
Only at the cost of your ankle. That's it.
Yeah,
How was it today?
No, that was me.
It's
That was me laughing.
Oh, okay.
it's a little sore, but I'm okay.
Good. That's funny. No, at this age, when I fall, I don't hop back up out of embarrassment. I'll sit for at least a few seconds and run a full diagnostics. I'm at the age where things have a price tag now and shit just breaks for no reason.
Yeah.
Like if you saw that clip where Tom Segura went up to dunk on a lowered goal and it's snap, 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 snap. Like he just broke his whole body. And I'm like, that one clip, I'm like, oh, I'm in that age range. That could easily happen to me. I'm not a baller. I'm not this. I'm not that. Just fucking stay out of physical stuff. You used to do that. Now your goal should just be look decent naked. That's about as physical as I want to get.
But the worst part of that clip is the way he sounded. The sound he made when he fell, Tom Segura.
Oh, good. Everything about
dude.
that is nauseating for sure.
That's
I will lay
nauseating
there and
together.
go, okay, feet, ankles, wrists. All right, knees, hips. Okay, I'm good. I can get up.
Yeah. Good. You're getting good at this, Jamie. I mean, Rox.
Like
Get some audio.
You know, Bert was there.
Yeah.
And Bert
back
goes
again.
like, I still remember him going, you know, Bert was there.
Yeah.
And Bert goes like, I still remember him going, you okay, buddy? Right? And I'm sitting there with my arm facing the other way. Sorry.
Yeah.
Behind my back. He goes, buddy? And I was like, call 911.
I guess it's good that it got caught on camera, though. It would have been such a waste if it wasn't filmed.
First, I'm in the emergency room, and then I'm in another room in the hospital. When they're finally getting me ready for surgery, surgery is going to happen in like a day or two, right? But I'm in a regular, like my own room. This trauma surgeon comes in, and he's like, "So wait, like, how did this happen?" And I'm telling him, and he's like, "Okay." And I can see that he's like putting it together in his head, and then I go, "You know, I have it on video," and he goes, "I'm sorry, what?" And I go, "I have it on video from multiple angles," and he's like, "Why?" And I go, well, because we're filming it for this thing. He goes, you know, I'd really like to see that. He goes, I could show that to people. I go, I think you'll just get the link. I think you'll see it.
Yeah, you'll see it everywhere.
And he's like, okay. And then I showed it to him, and I gave him my phone, and he goes, oh. And I go, wait, you're shrugging at that? Like, he goes, yeah, that was terrible. I don't want to see that again.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Truthfully. Dude, back to you love being at home, man. One thing that I've admired from afar, just watching you all on social media is the relationship between you and your wife. It seems like, man, you guys found it, like what everybody pursues.
Yeah, dude. It's an analogy that I always like to tell artists. But if you are pursuing your pipe dream, you have to kind of envision yourself as like a jet. And you're climbing quickly and efficiently. You're rising quickly. And everything you add to your life is going to slow you down. It's going to create drag. And so when I met my wife and she became my girlfriend, I let her know, like I was being funny, but I was like, you know, by definition, you are a burden. And you know, we laughed about that. But when you connect to the right person or you find the right job or whatever it is, instead of being a burden, they become a superpower. And that's the connection that we have it's unreal.
Instead of being a burden, they become a superpower.
Oh, for real, dude. Because like as artists, we're all in our heads all the time. We're beating ourselves up. We're saying, I'm not worth it. Why would anybody come to watch me?
Right.
Why am I putting in this effort? What am I showing them that's different? And then my wife's there just to be like, shut the fuck up. Thousands of people love you. I'm like, oh,
Is that her right there in the corner?
Yes.
yeah,
right
that's
there.
my wife. Yeah. She's way out of my league. We already know that.
No, man, you're
No.
handsome, man.
No, I don't think so. I think that y'all nailed it, like finding each other.
She is wonderful. She for a while she was managing my career. Just
Oh,
like
really?
just simple stuff. Artists, we failed.
She's
to
the
make,
one sending you on the road. Like
No.
go. Like I found a cruise for
I
you.
booked myself, but you guys might understand this. When someone wants like an invoice or you have to print a contract off, sign it, send it back, or they're waiting on a video clip, they're waiting on. my anxiety would get the best of me and I would be very slow. And sometimes they would never hear from me again. And then my wife, like even she took over like doing our taxes at the end of the year. Taxes for an independent contractor, it's very difficult because I might perform in 30 different states and I have to now file with 30 different states. And she found a way to make this a repeatable, simple process. And if I needed to sign a contract and I'm on a ship or doing a college gig or whatever, she'd print it off, sign it, send it back. She just handled the stuff that made me like where I internally suffered. And it's stupid to call it suffering, but it's like the administrative side of what we need to do as artists, it would shut me down. I would get nervous. Someone's counting on me for something. But you can put me in front of any crowd and I've got material for that room, no sweat. I can perform, I can show up on time, I can be professional, I can be sober, I can be all these things. But that was the one thing where my career was like kind of leveling off. And she's like, I got you, and made it very easy and repeatable. And I was never going to be a boyfriend again. I certainly was never going to get married because.
Did you struggle in relationships prior to her?
Yeah, sure. Certainly. Yeah. It's, I was a big fucking liar and cheater in a lot of those relationships. Certain regret. However, like Kevin Hart said, it's impossible to regret because it made you who you are.
Right.
After I was with a girl for a very long time and had lied to her a lot. And then as I imagine the sad scene of her sitting on the tailgate of the U-Haul as I load my shit up into it.
Fuck.
And I'm answering honestly any question she has about my lies and whatnot. I'm like, because I want the last thing you hear from me to be honest, and you deserve to hear this, but at the same time, you're way better than me. Like, I wasn't mature enough to deliver bad news. I wasn't mature enough to be like, this isn't working. Something's not working. We should walk away before we become toxic. But I would go from at home, which if you're starting an art, and I'm gonna keep calling it art, but if you're a brand new comedian, you're open micing, maybe getting $25 here and there, it's difficult to convince the person that you're with that what you're doing is worthwhile, that it's going somewhere. To convince your partner, like, no, this is it. This, I promise you, it's going to turn into something. No, she was a senior stockbroker, a fitness model. Like, she was killing it.
Shit.
And so seeing me clumsily leave for 5 hours a night just to do open mics and make friends.
Yeah,
she's like, this is bull. No. And I understand that, but I feel like she was nagging, but she had every right to nag. And then I would go on the road and get the attention that you get on the road. And so I was able to be honest with women I didn't know. And I was balancing so many lies with the relationship I had going on at home. And it was bullshit. But then after that breakup, it hurt so much that I just quit lying. Like little white lies, like, oh, I'm almost there. But big lies, it took me a while to train myself to, like, before you say it, make sure every word is true. And so then that took me like a full year of practicing complete and total transparency. It unlocked a new confidence in me, like finally feeling like I'm enough. I still struggle with that, but if you're honest, first word to last, the good, the bad, the ugly. I even do that in front of audiences in my comedy. I'm just telling you, hey, this is one of the most horrific experiences of my life and I'm super embarrassed. Let me present it to you. And they fucking love it. They love the transparency, the intimacy of these types of stories. But then, I met her and it was we hung out twice and I secretly called up everybody that I was dating and I was like, it's got to end. Delete my number. Don't reach out to me. I think I found someone. Like, no offense to you, but I think I found someone. She didn't even know I was doing it. I was too embarrassed to tell her that I liked her. Like, I fell in love with her so fucking quick. It's like,
so there was no guarantee that
none
she
at
was
all. I
leave.
leaped. I just deleted. It's stupid to call it a roster, but when you're single, you have a roster. And that's the most painful process, especially if you're a decent person, because you do like that person. And even if it's meant to be casual, it easily goes past casual just because you care about the person. And so it felt like I was making up and breaking up a dozen times a month. Like I was going through a dozen breakups at once and it was heartbreaking and exhausting and just terrible. And then I met her and it was like, she had everything that I was looking for, a million things I didn't know even existed in a person. She understood what I was looking for in comedy and was like, yeah, I'll help you. Like whatever you want to do, I'll travel with you, blah, blah, blah. And so it was like, she didn't know how quick I loved her, but like, since I wasn't using my heart anyways, I literally just like left it on her nightstand. Like, you can have this and I'll just travel without it.
I'll just do my thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I admire that so much.
It's just like any relationship. It all takes work, but when you find the right person, it's like you feel grateful for the opportunity to work at something with that person.
It's not a burden.
Not a burden at all. It's an absolute, it's just a blessing.
And how did you get to that point where you're like, I need to be completely honest?
It was that breakup. It was that breakup. It was moving out. It was moving in with a friend from college. So all of a sudden I had a roommate. I'm 30,
Did you do counseling or anything though? Or it was like self-improvement, self-focus?
Yeah, I guess I didn't. I was fine with sharing. Like I'm pretty open because I don't like, a matter of fact, I alienate most circles I'm hanging out with. Like we'd be hanging out talking about normal shit. And then I'd be like, when's the last time you had your heart broken? Because that's the shit I really love to hear about. Real. Because like grief is like a weighted blanket that zips shut around you. Like you just can't escape it. And that's when you fall in love and when you have your heart broken, those are the extremes of human emotion, the peak and the bottom. And in those two places, you learn the most about yourself. So at the top, every song is fantastic. Everything you eat is the most delicious thing you've ever had. You're skipping to work. The sun is shining. And then when you go through a breakup, it's hard to stand up. It's hard to breathe. It's hard to eat. It's hard to sleep. It's hard to do anything. But in each of those, you adapt to it. You develop the new version of you and you learn. And so also that means if you fall in love and then you break up with that person, the only way to fall in love again is if it surpasses the prior love.
Right.
It can't be less than, or there's no chance you'll pursue it. It's got to be someone that literally knocks your socks off. And then you're like, fuck, I didn't know. All right, I'll try this again. I'll be crazy for you.
Man, that was fucking beautiful, man.
What?
Where's their fucking round of applause for that one right there, dude?
I did not expect sound effects. That's funny.
Well,
do you read books?
Yeah.
Are there any books on relationships that you've read?
No. I'm reading one right now called Come As You Are. And it's not spelled that way. But it's not spelled that way, but it does have to do with pleasing your partner. Like,
really?
It really does.
Wow.
Because everyone is different. Everyone has a different thing. But you can be the best lover, not by knowing every position and having crazy endurance and blah, blah, blah. Not that at all. It's the ability to connect with your partner and to get them completely lost in the act of sex, where men are geared towards, I want sex. That's how we are wired. Testosterone is a fucking crazy chemical. And women have testosterone, but it's much lower. And women just are programmed the exact opposite. I shouldn't be doing this. It's too soon. You don't know this guy that well. So imagine it's like the magnets when they're reversed, they push away from each other.
Yeah.
And that is what the relationship is. So my something that I had developed, especially with my wife, is to quite literally put myself in her experience. And I know we're married, so no, we shouldn't be doing this, but it's harder to get laid when you're married than when you're single, because she knows all my bullshit. She knows all my stories. She knows my charms. And so it's like double
I know what you're
Dutch.
doing right
Like
now,
I'm jumping in, I'm getting in the timing, the right day of the week. She's not too tired. There's no headache. Her stomach feels fine. Like it's a lot of things, but then if you're going to have sex, make it worth it. Don't ever set aside a time. Like I was in a relationship with a girl where we always had sex like every night in bed, but that's what it became. It's like, it's the end of the day.
Habit.
This is when this happens. And that sucks.
Wow.
My wife and I, we only have sex when we absolutely have to, which makes it more desire driven.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter if we miss 3 days, maybe one of those days we go nuts on each other. Now we're both injured. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, we gotta chill out for a couple of days.
Age.
Yeah. But that might have been TMI. Sorry if you hear this, hon.
She goes nuts on you and dick, or just
No, she's got a great, like, dudes, like, we'll go and then we'll want to again and want to, like, she had a great, it's really good. I think it's a great joke, but she's like, if you break your toy, you won't be able to play with it. I was like, oh, that's funny. Like, that's great. Yeah. It's okay to like, we've had sex tonight. Just pause. You don't need to keep going.
That makes sense.
If you break your toy, you can't play with it. Yeah, I don't want a 2-day reset.
That's why I haven't been having sex, because I don't want to break her water because she's pregnant.
For real?
Yeah.
You got a kid on the way?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There we go.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
Girl. She's due any day now.
So happy
Like
for
she
you.
could be going into labor right now.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Let her do it.
She was at the show last night.
Yeah.
She was setting up and everything.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
9 months.
Yeah, she's
pregnant.
ready to pop.
That's
Do
how
you
I
have
know
any
we.
kids before?
Yeah, we got 2. We
This
got
will be
2.
3?
Yeah, this will be the 3rd and the last.
Are you doing the vasectomy?
I'm gonna do it.
My man.
You are?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm doing one as soon as I have enough time off to do
Wow.
one because my wife and I we're
do
passionately
one
against
together.
having
Yeah.
kids.
Me and John
Oh,
Stringer just do
really?
one
You
together.
don't have any kids.
We don't have
You-
any kids, and we got together. I mean, you know, when you meet someone new, the topics that could like ruin everything are like religion and I don't know, politics
And money.
children and money, right? These are
Yeah.
the top. And like we clicked right away. I think it was like the second time we hung out and she's like, oh, by the way, I'm never fucking having a kid.
Wow.
When she said that, I've never had a desire to be a dad. I've got a lot of nieces and nephews. That's about as far as I go. I'll bring the sugar, the wrestling moves, and then I never have to discipline. And also when people have kids,
Yeah.
they love their kids. It changed their life. It's the best thing that ever happened to them. And then you have a few drinks with with that couple that has kids, and one of them leaves the room, and the one that's left in the room looks at you dead face like, don't ever fucking have kids. And that's who I'm listening to. That's who I'm like.
That's what we tell all
That's
our
the
people
person
who don't
that-
have kids.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry.
That's the person that like had to give up some dreams and sacrifice some time and some money and some effort. And I totally understand that,
Yeah.
but I also realize I'm too selfish to be selfless. I know, I don't know what it takes to be a parent, but I know giving everything, it takes that. And if I'm doing this correctly, then I'm gone 40 to 45 weeks a year.
Yeah.
So I'm burdening my wife with raising our child and I'm never present. No thanks. Not for me.
Have you ever had a scare?
No, I had a girl who said she was, but she was just trying to get me to not break up with her.
Dude, been there, dude. I asked her if she had abortion, like little stamps that she was getting, because she kept telling me that she was
Stamps?
Yeah, you know how like when you go to like a store and they give
Like
you
loyalty rewards?
Yeah, like loyalty rewards, like punch cards. I told her that because she kept always telling me she was pregnant by me, bro. And I was like, what's going on here? Like, are you going to the abortion clinic and getting rid of these like every single time? It's like once a fucking month almost, bro.
But how would she tell you I'm not pregnant anymore? Like I lost it?
Were you funding this?
Oh no.
Oh, I thought she was
No.
coming to you
Was
for like
she
a
was
weekly
telling-
check.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, she was like,
telling you
I
she
lost the
got
baby.
the
I got
money.
pregnant by you. I lost the baby.
Oh, she would lose it.
Yeah, and it was like every couple months she would do that to me. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Wow.
And that's when I finally said, do you have the little punch card at the abortion clinic?
The Bahama Bus.
Yeah.
Get the 13th free.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's ridiculous.
Then we never talked after that. It was awesome.
Wow.
Also, you're like a handsome little Dickie. Have you
Hilarious.
seen Little Dickie?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you're like a handsome version
That's
of him.
funny. I think that's what when we met, I had Little Dickie's look before Little Dicky.
Yeah, you did.
existed.
100%.
Afro, short beard. Yeah, for real.
It was a shorter beard too.
I was like, I could look it up on my phone and show you a picture, but no. It's being. Yeah, I absolutely love that he exists. He's funny. He's like, apparently he's easy to work with.
Did you watch the show?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
He's such a good
Fucking
dude.
great, man.
It's a great show. It's well written. It's thoughtful. Like, I don't know.
And then y'all showed me that music video he did where he spent no money doing it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we went to other people's houses.
Yeah, asking them if they could use it.
Have y'all seen the
We
Rachel?
need to start doing that. Hey,
Rachel
can we use your
McAdams?
mansion for this podcast? And I wonder if people would do it because he
Yeah.
was white. Like, so that's kind of
Yeah,
leg
I
up.
can't go up to people's doors and be like, "Hey,
It's a podcast. Trust me.
yeah, it's a podcast. It's in a house, far San Antonio."
You said the
That
word
one.
alienate earlier, and I couldn't stop thinking about aliens now.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Click on
Do you think that shit in Mexico
ahead.
is real? Have you seen that?
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, well, the fact now that there's been a lot of information disclosed by our government that there are definitely aliens and UFOs and all of that. And the fact that we're under responding to it, like just modern age, we turn it into funny memes immediately.
Yeah.
Like a person baked
Yes.
a cake that looks exactly like that
Yes.
alien. It just started slicing it up. And I'm like, God, we just don't care. We're
I know.
numb to it. The
Yeah.
fact that the Ukrainian war is still going on and we're just like, oh yeah, that is still going. Like we're treating it.
Yeah. Or even the submarine thing where just people were just
immediately.
joking about
But
it.
that
They were
was funny.
dying. They were like,
Yeah. And probably the most instantaneous explosion.
right. Yeah.
Yep. It was silent and ungraceful the way it happened. But
the thing that's crazier is they didn't want to tell us about aliens because the public isn't ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that? Like the public's not ready for this, and we're ready because when we found out, we made memes about it.
Yeah. We're worried about making our light bill. We're worried about making our car note. Like everybody's worried about money almost exclusively. Where like we've even stopped caring about how our kids are getting educated. We're just like, no. I want to be able to afford having that child. I'm gonna have to sell that motherfucker soon.
I think we're not ready for hostile aliens.
Oh,
if
yeah,
the aliens, I don't think they're hostile.
Wouldn't
because
we be the hostile aliens?
We are the hostile aliens.
I think if anyone's making the journey out here to explore, they're not doing it to destroy and conquer.
No.
But there is, history does repeat itself here. I love history. White. I'm so sorry.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, no, but I think
I'm not white though.
One of my favorite ideas is that historically, war has been the quickest and most effective way to make change and to capture new land and all of that. It won't be in our lifetime, but the USA, I guarantee at some point will be under different leadership, a different name, a different regime completely. It could be Russia too. It could be China too. It could be, we don't know what's going to happen in the world, but it's pretty interesting that all these land masses were all something different before they were what they are now.
Yeah.
And we're just a great piece of land with lots of natural resources. Someone's going to see it and say, yeah, I think we want that. They've been cocky for a really long time. We're going to take that. But yeah. I don't know. Love it. Love
and
the
it's going to be Canada.
Yeah. And the fact these civilizations, we see how advanced they were. I feel like we've been exactly here before historically. And it's all swept under when the Younger Dryas, the rising of the seas and the big floodings and all of that was all washed away, hidden, buried, and we're uncovering it slowly. But again, we can't explain how the pyramids were made, and we really don't have the technology to do such precision stone cutting and insertion, and you can't even put a piece of paper between it like 20,000 years later. Fuck off with that. Tell me how that happened.
Yeah.
So we've been here, not like recording podcasts, but legitimate, helpful technology. Everything that we're creating today is like distraction technology. What can keep us busy? What can make us cash cows for companies? We're being pumped ads and shit.
Yeah. We're part of it.
Yeah. Willingly.
Yes. Welcome to the Matrix, boys.
I will scroll till both of my arms go numb.
Do you think the Mexicans want that alien to go back where it came from?
I hope not.
That'd be rude, right?
I did a what movie was it where it's like a natural disaster movie?
You're spacist.
Yeah, that's funny, dude.
This is the end?
But it's where it's like freezing in the north and moving down. I think it might be someone Ford. What's his name? The actor something Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. He goes and saves his son, Jake Gyllenhaal, in New York.
Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah. But like then Americans are pushing down to the Mexican border, and Mexico's like, nah.
Oh, really?
Bro. Yeah. They put it in the movie, and I'm like, it would be like that. Like, oh, okay. Now you're trying to they're crossing the border, they're jumping the fences, and I'm like, yeah, that's a great thing to put in a movie. That's
Amigo,
funny.
we're friends now. Damn, that
don't have
would
any
be
space. You
hilarious.
gotta go
Swimming
back.
the other way. Oh,
Dude, El Paso is one of my favorite cities. It's tragic what like the blockade of people that are just sleeping on the streets with their family because here they thought there was a better opportunity from them. People that migrated from Venezuela and you name it.
Yeah.
And now they're just sleeping on the streets, waiting for their appointment that 1 in 1,000 even get the attempt to get American citizenship.
yeah.
It's so damn sad.
Oh, is it bad there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've
Yeah,
never
they're
been to El
stuck.
Paso.
They're stuck.
Yeah, they're just living in limbo, but with their children, with their wives, and in tents, in sleeping bags outside. It's wild.
Yeah, it's rough because they probably had an idea of what America was like, and then you get here and you're sorely mistaken.
And they come to Texas and they got Greg Abbott.
Yeah.
They got to deal with that.
Who just
fucking
won't
idiot.
stand up for them.
Hilarious. I wish that tree finished the job, dude. I wish that tree fucking did it in, dude.
Do you watch Kill Tony? Have you heard of it?
Yeah. Minimally. I'll catch a clip here and there if it rolls up in a feed.
Yeah, there was this recent comic. She's a really big girl, but she's hilarious.
Was Roseanne on the panel?
Yes.
Yeah. And they all gave her dates.
Yes.
Like right there on the spot.
That was beautiful.
Here's a question. Like it's not quite Cosby level, not at all. But like, I'm just trying to think of someone who was under scandal. Like I would clearly go work with Louis C.K. He's a pervert, but I'll go work with the pervert.
Yeah.
But what she did, what Roseanne did, her little racist rant. If someone,
back then,
was it Ambien? I can't remember. She blamed it on her meds, but she went on a little bit of a racial rant. I wouldn't work with her.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't work with her
anymore.
Yeah.
Even wow.
I feel like that would reflect on me. Like I loved Cosby, and I know what he did is just astronomically worse.
Right.
But I would never, like there was a moment where Chris D'Elia, he was doing that grooming thing, and he's recovered from it somehow. He's doing fine. I've always thought he was funny. I've met the guy personally. He's a nice dude. But
my dog needs a haircut. I should call him.
That's funny. He'll wait till they're of age. No, I just thought that was a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess.
What did she say though?
I don't know. You want to see? She was posting she went on a tirade like at 3 a.m. and she was saying that she was Ambien or something. She had no idea that she was doing it. I think there was another comedian like Louis C.K. maybe or somebody that's like, dude, I made fucking a whole meal and I woke up. I think it was Bert Kreischer. He's like, I made a whole meal, woke up the next day and was like, who the fuck made me food last night? And he had taken Ambien. And he's like,
oh, Ambien's, yeah, it's as strange as they say for sure.
Crazy.
My mom was on that for a minute.
She criticized
the Holocaust.
She got hit by a car, right? Like when she was a teenager. And she had like this traumatic brain injury, right? She was never the same. She was completely a different kid before she got hit by that car. And she's off. Like that lady's off, you know?
Yeah.
But I also think she might be a good person, you know? I don't think she's racist.
That can't be true.
Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby. That was not her. I think somebody else said that. Or that might have been her. But that might have been her. That is real. Yes. Who is she talking about though? But hold on, because it is racist. But it might be
Holy shit! I'm gasping now. I'm clutching pearls over.
You're like, I hate her more.
I love how her show continues on without her. It's just the Connors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
John
Angelica
Goodman.
Jarrett or somebody Jarrett. It was a politician, female politician, Jarrett.
I wish I worded it better.
I wish I worded it. You can't word it better.
How do you word that better?
Yeah. But yeah, I guess.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter. That was a really cool Kill Tony episode. And that girl cried and deservedly so. Go get you some stage time, get you some travels.
And I think that's great because she obviously is deserving of it because of her talent. Yeah. I've seen her a few times on there. She's got talent, right? But it takes the grind. And the grind is a great thing, right? You learn a lot from the grind.
I recommend it to everyone. One thing I missed that is very important to development is going on the road with headliners. Because within the first year, I was full-time comedy and I was headlining within the next 6 months. So I skipped that step. I never got to go. Very few. I think I did 2 shows with Steve Trevino. I did. I worked with Rob Schneider for a weekend, but for the most part, I was always closing. And so when I hear that people team up with, do you know Tony Casillas?
Sounds familiar.
He's out in Austin, but he moved to Austin and now he's traveling with all these different big name comedians. And that's where you learn kind of the inner workings. You're learning about a tier you're not on yet.
Right.
There are several tiers to this game. Like I'm completely unknown and there are still 6 or 7 tiers of completely unknown, but gobs of money. And I'm just trying to get to that. I want to be unrecognizable, but not have to worry about money. That's the level I'm looking for.
That's what you're doing.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I've always seen you like what I've told people when I talk about you is like, he's not famous, but he should be.
Dude, I'm standing directly in my own way. Like all of us, we could do more if we just put the effort in. But for me, I know exactly what I want, but getting out of my own way to start doing it is its own struggle. But I know that fame isn't something that I'm after. I think that would be torturous just to be, it's not bothered. People are fans of yours, but they also expect your time and we're just normal fucking people. And so if I'm having dinner with my wife, I don't want to be mid bite and someone wants me to sign something or take a picture. So that sounds awful. I want to tell jokes and vanish. That's okay with me.
Yeah. My son saw Rogan last weekend at Terry Black's barbecue. And he was like, it was crazy because that's a cramped space, that restaurant. And he was sitting down with his family and nobody was fucking with him.
That's great. Yeah. Some places totally get it, respect it. But then you hear those stories like
it's not everywhere.
Precisely. Like they'll just say, "Oh, fucking Draymond Green is an asshole. We wanted a picture with him," and I'm like, "Well, give us context. Did you stop him on the street while he was just trying to live his life?" And he didn't feel like stopping for you at that very moment? Does that make him an asshole, or does that just make him human? Like
well, Draymond Green is an asshole.
No, but that's his role. I know it sounds funny, but
that's what he leans into.
Poole definitely earned that hit. You know what I mean? That a dude doesn't hit a dude like that unless there's a reason to.
Right.
They had beef. He was like, I want to follow up on this beef, and he solved it quickly.
I just talking about his face in general.
Oh yeah,
I don't like
he's
it.
a bit crotchety, but I mean, great.
He always reminds me of the donkey from fucking Shrek.
That's
his face.
funny.
I'm sorry, Draymond. You're gonna see this.
Also canceled, you know. Now that
he
you
was
said
canceled?
That. No, you.
Me?
Yeah, you're canceled now.
That's okay. I'll deal with that.
I'll deal with it.
It's awesome. You know, I guess if you get canceled, that means you're big enough to be canceled.
Yes, you're not really canceled yet.
No, can't.
Not yet.
Yeah.
When I did that, it was one of my favorite things. That Chingo Bling, They Can't Deport Us All. I was on that with
on Netflix.
Jesus
right?
Sepulveda and Garcia, Jerry Garcia, Chingo, Jesus, myself. At any rate, I definitely did some race jokes in that, but that's kind of what they were looking for. Like, I love talking shit to Latinos because if I fuck with you, I fucks with you. That's the 90% of my fan base are Latino because I do a lot of South Texas, South Arizona, South California, and I've picked up this great fan base. They're enthusiastic, they're supportive, and so that's what I put on that special. I have regrets because the only thing that's out there, like as a major stand-up comedy credit, happens to be a white dude telling race jokes. And this all happened 7 years ago. So it was pre-pandemic when, like, that's when we put the lid on it. If you're white, you don't talk about any race but your own. And that's like, I retired an hour of material post-pandemic because I'm like, my audiences know that I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want it to be misconstrued. I don't want to offend anybody. Everybody's a little more sensitive. I don't adhere to the PC thing, but I hate that that's what's out there as the representation as my credit. So I often don't mention it at all. But
gotcha. I'll strike out when I said what network it's on.
Just bleep out the.
It's already off. I think it was
love
on
what you
Netflix
said
for like
though.
7 years.
If I fuck with you, I fucks with you. Like, if I'm
That's
fucking
it,
with you, that means I fucked with you.
Yeah, you got like him laughing from you falling. I'm like, that's love. That's love, and you don't even realize it. Like if you know someone well enough to talk about the worst parts of them, the things they're most insecure about, it's like, oh fuck, this is family. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, no, my thing is I love watching fat people fall.
My thing.
Yeah. Like, so I'll go to Google and watch that.
Really?
Yes. So when I saw my brother do it and him falling, it was just like so more like it just hit every fucking.
Don't you think you could go viral for that video? Like he?
Oh
could
yeah,
go,
for sure.
Yeah.
Did you see how he fell on his face like at the end?
He fell on his face. He had his face.
Why are they talking
He
about
face
you?
planted.
Hey, dude, when
I know, like
He's
he's
sitting
right
here.
hey, when he
Did
came
you
up,
see his face?
Did you see his fat fucking face, dude?
when he
Son
came
of a
up,
bitch
he had hair. He had fucking grass in his hair.
Don't you think he should lose some weight?
No, it wouldn't have been
You
as
think
funny
so?
if you fell.
That's true. Yeah.
You would have
That'd be
broken something.
celebratory, wouldn't it?
Yeah, very low to the ground.
Hell, if you watch an attractive girl fall down, part of you is like, yes.
Oh yeah.
She hasn't been humbled in a while. Yes.
Well, I always like judge people when they're like, I like watching videos of kids getting hurt.
What?
Yeah, like,
No.
like
Ooh.
you know, funny word.
Like running into a doorway.
Yeah, like running into yeah.
I was like, what kind of people you hanging out with?
No, not like abuse.
They're made out
I was
of
on this
rubber.
island one time, and you know, this guy is rich guy. He was telling me
He was Jewish, I think.
enjoyed watching kids
Something Steen.
and they're heartbroken. But yeah, like there was this guy that worked for me. He was like, "Yeah, I love watching kids just like, getting injured." I'm like, "That's messed up, dude."
My buddy, Chris, he's my best friend. He lives out in Houston, but his favorite things to watch are people like showboating on motorcycles and then crashing.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you fucking deserved it. Like, I
Yeah.
swear he's getting erections watching
I
these
know.
videos. I swear. He's just like,
I secretly hope those guys die sometimes, and I feel bad because like when they do the little thing that zoom, like they get in between your car and like in there's 2 cars and they just zip right through. Where do you got to go, dude? Like that's fucked up. You're risking your life.
For sure. And I hate those people.
Yeah.
But remove that thought that you want them to die. No. Because I did that. I was on I-35 going from Austin out to Dallas for a gig. And this fucking Camaro zipping between traffic going super fucking fast. And then like 30, 45 minutes later, I hit stop dead traffic.
Oh,
and then like we're just going through like just very, very slow traffic. And then a few miles up, I see that Camaro has turned and flipped into the median and they're both dead. And I remember I had that thought before it happened and I was like, nah, I got to put that to bed. Like they were being assholes. They were being unsafe and they only hurt themselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time that I had regret immediately when I was like, oh shit, they died. You did this. You fucking did this.
But I don't feel bad about stealing those bikes and you feel bad about stealing.
Dude,
No, you're right though. Damn.
he was just drinking his coffee, passing by. Guess they're gonna be
no.
late.
Right.
You're safe. You're safe. It hasn't
Don't
happened
park
to you.
there.
Yeah.
It was like Final Destination.
Damn. Yeah. One time we left the club and my buddy was in his motorcycle and I was in my Jeep and we were hauling ass on the highway and he was in front of me and he pops a wheelie and he just on like a wheelie in front of me and I'm like, this dude's crazy. And I look down and I'm going 100 miles per hour and he's in front of me popping the fucking wheelie.
I didn't know Jeeps could do 100.
Yeah. it was doing 100. Like it literally was doing a fucking 100.
Dude, that could have been all she wrote.
I moved over because I was like, I'm not gonna
Right.
run over my friend. That's all I could see was me running over my friend.
Fuck, dude.
wild.
Yeah. A couple years later, he got enough wreck in his truck and they threw him out of the truck and like he crushed him. It crushed him. The doctor was telling us because they called me that night to pick them up because they had drank too much, but he was being stubborn and like they took his keys away and then he like ended up getting the keys back somehow and he left. And I called him. I'm like, stop where you're at. I'll go get you. And he was like, no, I'll be at the bar right now. And I'm like, dude, stop. And he's like, no, I'll be there right now.
Fuck.
And I was like, all right, cool. Right. Hey, hello. No. And then I go to the bar and to pick up my buddies. And
He's not
they
there.
were all freaking out because I had just shaved my mustache off. And they had always known me to have a mustache. I knew you and I had a mustache back then.
Yeah.
And they were like, what the fuck? So we had 20 or 30 minutes of freaking out about the mustache. And then they were like, hey, where's Gary? And I was like, oh, he's coming back. He should be outside. We go outside. There's no Gary. So my buddy calls him and they're like, Kendall County EMS answers the phone. And they're like, your buddy was in a wreck. He was thrown from his truck. We need to know who was with him. And he was by himself. And so we go to the hospital and the doctor comes out and the doctor's telling us everything that's broken inside him. And it's like
Evil Knievel
he's not
type
gonna,
shit.
He's not gonna live. Like his whole shit was his pelvis was shattered, his liver was separated from his spleen, his lungs were collapsed, his brain was damaged. Like we went in and saw him and never mind. And like they kept saying like he's gonna die today, he's gonna die today. And then he was in a coma for like 3 months or some shit.
What?
Yeah. And then he came out of his coma and they were like, he's gonna be mentally retarded. Like he'll be a baby.
That's what the
basically.
doctor said. He's gonna be mentally
Yeah.
retarded.
I was like, dude, you said retard, bro. That's cool.
You're a very
Back then it
casual
was-
doctor.
Can I call him that
I don't think you can develop that from a crash.
Yeah. And so he woke up and he was like a baby and he didn't remember people. But I walked in and he called me Beaner. Like that, because that was my nickname back then.
Oh, did you
and
cry?
he was like, Beaner. And I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, my-
dude? Yeah.
That's fucking, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my mom had dementia
Mhm.
and Lewy body dementia. If anyone's listening to this, they know what that is. It's weird. It's an interesting version of dementia, but she couldn't remember anyone. Occasionally I'd have to remind her that I'm her son. And it's a sad degradation. It really is. But it was wild. A girl that I went to high school with, I was best friends with her brother, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
She showed up to one of my comedy shows that I brought my mom and my sister to. I was just trying to get my mom out of the house, come see some shows and whatnot. And as soon as that girl walked over, Melissa, she was like, Melissa.
Wow.
And she had not seen her in 20 years. And she was a grown
Who's your boyfriend?
woman. And she recognized her. Dude, I was full tears and I was going on in like 2 minutes. I was next in the lineup and I was just like, oh, that's fucking amazing. Like, I was like, you don't know how amazing it is that she just recognized you. She doesn't recognize anybody. That's a miracle just took place. Wow. But did your friend make it out? Is he?
No, he died 2 days later after he said beep. No, I'm kidding.
The roller coaster. We're all so invested right now. We're just like, what? Oh, fucking asshole.
No, he made it, and then like he kind of made a full recovery. They moved him to what do you call it? Rehab. And it was across the street from like where the Spurs practiced. So there were like all these fancy cars all the time. Well, when I went to visit him, he was pitching a fit because the nurse was trying to feed him. And he was like, no. And like, he was like, I don't like him. He touches me at night. He was saying that about the nurse. And the nurse is like, dude, no, I don't do that. And then he grabs the spoon and like a baby, he throws it across the room. He's like, I don't want to eat. And I'm like, can we like take him out for a walk, like on the wheelchair or something? So they get him on a wheelchair. We take him outside and we're walking and we're at the corner and like this badass fucking car passes by and he's just like looking at it. And I'm like, you like that car? And he's like, that's a badass car, Bean. And I was like, what kind of car is that? And he was like, that's a Corvette. And it was a Lamborghini, but you know, no, it was a Corvette. It was a Corvette. And I was like, dude, you're going to be all right. Like you're going to come around, dude. Like I was like, he's going to be okay. And like they said he wasn't going to walk. He walks, you know, he might walk with a limp now, but he walks. He ended up having a kid later on and he's still fucked up in the head, I think, you know, but he was good. And then like, I think a few months ago, he messaged me and he's like, he got meningitis and like, he was like really bad and fucking in the hospital. And I think he's good now. He was messaging me about the party recently.
Fucking A.
Or it was his ghost.
He could have been dead.
That story had its ups and downs, I'll tell you that.
Back in 2000.
This
that
has
was
been a roller
2008.
coaster.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This podcast is not at all what I expected.
What did you expect?
I've laughed. I felt like crying. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I want it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People think that it's just a comedy podcast and you're just here to laugh and you're like, nah, we'll fuck around. We'll talk about anything.
Yeah.
How do you know Charles Allen?
Oh, we worked together in Houston at the Houston Improv. I was headlining. He was featuring. I can't remember who was hosting, but we clicked right away. And he gave me some great advice and gave me some good words of encouragement. But I love that dude. He is.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I
fucking love him.
Severely nice. He's got great focus on what he's trying to do, what he's trying to accomplish. So definitely someone to fucks with.
Yeah, he texts me like once a week and it's always something fun. If it's not something funny, it's just something like just to think about as far as the podcast and how to brand out and branch out and all that.
That's good. He's a good one.
Yeah, he is.
That's the thing about comedy is like it's.
What do you mean he's a good one?
You know. I don't have to say it. I just got a good person, but I love what you're doing.
I'm just trying to get Netflix to call you back, baby.
We heard what you said, and we'd like to offer you 2 specials.
So where you live?
I live about an hour south of Wichita. I'm in Kansas, in a tiny little town. It's got about 2,300 people in it. And my wife and I, we bought an Episcopal church that was built in 1908, and that's our house. So it's super dope. It's an old brick. It's a great little church and
no priest there, right?
What's that?
There's no priest there?
No priest. No. So the pastor, one of the things like moving to a small town in Kansas, we immediately thought it's going to be a super conservative, like extreme right-wing kind of town. Like we were going to see Trump flags everywhere and shit. And we went there and we found out that the pastor of our church was an openly gay female. And she was there for like the last 25, 30 years. She passed away October of 2020 from COVID, real sad. But she was such a pillar of the community. The community embraced her. And her partner is running the Methodist church in town. So she is still alive. She tells us stories about Mary that used to run our church. But her congregation was so small at its Grace Episcopal Church that the diocese they couldn't find a replacement pastor. They just said, well, we'll just put that out on regular realty. So it was available. It didn't have to be commercial, didn't have to be religious. We just made it our house. And Now we're just preserving it. Because if it's been there for 120 years, we're taking the steps to make sure that it survives another 120 years. So, and we'll do this here. I'm going to say some white things. This is another white thing. My wife and I, we want to find another building and then another building and just keep saving old buildings and turning them into like event centers or Airbnbs, just some way to keep them alive, because I feel like I'm passionate about that. I love history. I love old architecture, and I like keeping them as they were. Not when I watch HGTV, I just want to punch the TV when they're like, this house was built in 1902, but we should tear down that wall. We need to change the door. And I'm like, don't touch any of that. That's why it's valuable. That's its story. That's how it was built. You're going to ruin everything about it. So yeah, we get this opportunity. I think I'd like to get my hands on a train depot and a fire station. And if I can get those two types of buildings, and it'll likely be in a small town. If you're willing to live in a small town away from a populous area, everything is half the price.
Yeah.
But real estate, even less than half. We were looking at a certain price range of what we wanted to spend on a house, and we got the church and the acre that it sits on and all that for less than half of what we were looking to spend. And we bought the house next door to us and turned it into a cat rescue and a storage house. So it's like, and we got all of that for less than we were looking to spend on one home, and still had money to do like the bathroom and floors. And so just get out of it. With comedy, I can live anywhere on the planet as long as I have access to a decent airport. I'll be there. I'm an adult. Just give me the date, the time. I'll be there. Promise you, I'm reliable. And then everybody in comedy, like, you got to be in New York, Chicago, LA. And I'm like, comedy, even if you're good, you don't make that kind of money. Did it stop recording?
No, it's dying. So
my phone?
Yeah.
The charger's right, there's a charger right there.
That's wild.
I mean,
it should have been pretty charged up. Maybe my screen's too bright. Sweet, good find. I didn't see that. Hell,
yeah, but there's other comedians that don't, like, I think like Chappelle lives like out in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. Yeah.
Yep. And you save money, you connect to like my area. We have a historical theater in town, and I'm going to start doing once or twice a year clean shows, all ages appropriate. And all of the money goes back into the art center where they're teaching kids improv comedy. They're teaching them to dance and sing. A third of it will go to the theater, and a third of it will go to the local vet, because we run like an unofficial cat rescue, and our vet knows what we're trying to accomplish. So we always get like deep discounts. It's like, hey, we got this new litter. Here's the mama. We need to get them fixed, shots, yada, yada. And they just always give us like great pricing, take care of us. So,
man, you're awesome, dude. You're doing a lot of crazy ass shit.
Living the dream. Here's a statement just about dreams in general. Everybody at this table right now has an idea for what your future looks like.
Yep.
And I just want to remind you that it's not going to happen unless you start doing it now, because we all imagine that money is going to look different in the future.
Yeah.
And timing and yada, yada, yada. It doesn't. It's you either start walking in that direction aggressively now, or you'll be 60 years old in no time and be like, damn, I did none of that. I never saw Europe. I never, whatever your goals are. So I got my dream girl, my dream house, my dream job. I'm starting it now. The cat rescue is so fulfilling. I love working on old things. I'm about to buy a classic car and restore it. Just kind of scratching these itches that we all have. Whatever your interest is, keep those. Like, as we become adults, we become so predictably boring. Like, how much funnier were we, and how much more creative were we when we were in high school, junior high? We were like uninhibited funny. You guys are funny now, but there was a time before ego and being around other funny people, we've all become jaded. Dude, if I had started comedy in high school, there would have been some real shit happening for sure. Yeah. That's when I didn't care.
You think you would have been canceled like Roseanne?
Certainly. Yeah. Hell, dude, the way I started comedy, I definitely put like everything was on the table. Everything was on the table.
Yeah. So, I mean, back to that, don't you think you've changed?
Yeah.
Since then?
100%.
Can she have learned from that?
Who?
Roseanne. And become a better person?
I'm all about forgiveness, but I'm just saying, would I want my brand attached to Roseanne's
just
brand?
To that in general because of that?
Like you might hear some interviews with Kevin Hart and how how conscious he is of his brand, his influence, his exposure. And so like you'll see him like in the green room with other comics and they're like, hey, we're going to go smoke. Do you want to smoke? He's like, nope, don't even mention it to me. I'm not about it. I don't do it. And then someone's like, you still drink though? Not when I'm working. And he's just very about his business. And I'm not saying that that's the right or the wrong way, but if it's, I mean, when Roseanne was the shit, when she had that show rocking all through the 90s, I was a huge fan. Yeah. When she said that, it's fucking stupid. I don't agree with it. I'd rather not be associated with it. Yeah. Doesn't mean I don't like, this is an unfortunate truth. Bill Cosby, one of the greatest comedians all time, did something beyond horrific. Absolutely one of the worst things we've ever heard of. It does negate his entire career almost, but I'm not going to remove the fact that he is one of the most prolific and best stand-up comedians to ever live, who happened to be a monster. That is the story. Right. It's kind of how like America, we've got a very embarrassing history and we're trying to sweep it all under the rug. Yeah. And instead of, it's not like I don't want like Robert E. Lee statues to be brought down. They should be fucking removed, but they should be placed in a museum that says, hey, we used to honor fucking racists in this country. Let's learn from that instead of hide that shit. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, and thank you for what you said, about like getting started now. I think this podcast started in January, and when it started, it was just, we were starting a podcast. But we started to feel like, oh, we have a good product. Like this is something real. And I think now we see a vision of the future for it, right? And the fact that we're diligent about it. Like we're going to do it every weekend. We're going to do it, whether we feel like it or not, whatever's going on, we're going to find a way to make it fucking happen. Also stand-up comedy. Like we're naturally funny and something very wise that Charles Allen said was like, well, not wise, but it was a great analogy. It was, being naturally funny is like being tall and wanting to play basketball. You already got it. You just got to learn how the fundamentals.
You got to start now. Yeah. You have to start now because you're going to suck now and you will be good soon. It's just putting in the work. Yep. Everybody start where you might be getting laughs, but if I were to see any of my performances within the first year, I would try to look at it objectively and be like, that was good effort. That was good enthusiasm, but it would probably make me throw up hearing the things that I'm saying and thinking that was a good, complete joke. And I'd be like, what the fuck was I saying back then? Yeah.
My first set was about throwing up. Yeah.
Mine was buttholes, nutsack, dick. I did.
That's his first. It's going to be his first set.
Of the most grotesque, like potty humor. And it did stuff. Well. And I was like, yeah. I still love dick jokes. I still, if it's good, it's good. Funny is funny, especially when it's super not PC. Funny is still funny to me. Ricky Gervais, David Carr, Alan Carr. It's like usually Jim Jeffries. It's usually European, Australian. It's usually these comedians that have a brutal, cutting sense of humor and nobody can escape it. Yeah. So they're going to tease every illness, every death, every world pandemic. They'll make fun of it the day it happens. And I'm sorry, but if it's well written, it's good. It's very fucking good. Yeah, there's absolutely. A joke I told that I felt like I almost got fired on Holland America, but I was doing it was an adult show and they moved it to a smaller, like the average age on the ship was over 70. And they put us in a small lounge and I walk out on stage and I see nothing but old white people, white hair everywhere you look. And my opening joke was, this is my first time performing for people that stormed the Capitol. That's funny.
They didn't say
objectively. That's a good joke.
Did they like?
No, dude. I performed the next 35 minutes in silence. I was never interrupted by a single noise other than shuffling old feet and walkers leaving. Shit. And the only reason they reacted that way is because some element was true.
Right.
But what I've always noticed from like rednecks and whatnot, like when I go up to Amarillo, Lubbock, I can talk shit about everybody and they're down. It's kind of like being down in the valley. When you're down in the valley, talk shit about everybody and they love you for it. So it's like, we're so over ourselves. We're over. Right. But again, this politics have changed things. And if you're talking about either side, it alienates the room. It's just not the same. I've always been willfully ignorant. I've never cared who's been president because I've never been in a position to need government assistance. So it all changed recently.
Yeah, give it up for white privilege, baby.
Fuck that. No, we had food stamps. I had free insurance. No. We were poor growing up. I mean, as an adult,
I know what you're saying because I'm always like, dude, whatever the fucking president does really is not going to affect me.
Keep me in the dark. I don't need to know.
Yeah. That's what you're saying.
That's what's changed is that I've never cared and always been willfully ignorant. And now I feel like I have to care. Otherwise, I'm not looking out for my LGBTQ plus friends, family, any of my friends who are minorities, anybody who's in the struggle right now. And I'm like, my eyes kind of open to all of that. Like I was very unique growing up where most of my friends were Latino and Black. So I would go to their houses and they were very together. They were very family oriented. They had dinner at the dinner table. They went to church together. None of that in my house. My house was very much a broken home. So I had the opposite. Like all the generalizations you would make, like the jokes, hacky jokes about other races, that was my house. My house was the house that you would make those jokes about. And going to my friend's house is like, this is a fucking family. This is like, they go to bed at bedtime and they have snacks and like, it was just a different environment. So I used to play in that space very comfortably.
Did you, when you walk around on the cruise ships, do you get noticed all the time?
That's as close to what fame I think would feel like, and it's the worst.
I liked it. I felt it one time because I did karaoke.
Yeah.
Well, every time I went on a cruise ship, it would happen.
You get recognized.
I would do karaoke, and then you're just walking around and like, you're Jose from San Antonio. Like, what the fuck?
Imagine that all day, every day for 7 days.
Yeah.
And I do 20 plus weeks a year of cruise ships. It's just like,
it's awkward.
What do you do?
Awful.
What do you do there when you're not like performing? Are you like having a fucking blast too?
Yeah, I'm a guest entertainer. So I'm exactly like a guest. I have all the guest statuses. I can go to their nice restaurants. I can go watch the musicals, the plays, the jugglers, the magicians. Like it's world-class entertainment. Like you're on there with some fucking ballers. And then I'm just telling like dick jokes. It's a weird dichotomy, but I am a guest. The only difference is I occasionally have to tell jokes. So as long as I show up in a pressed shirt with buttons and I'm on time, there's no question.
Are you still incorporating music and dancing in your set?
For sure. Yeah.
Really?
Definitely. Yeah. Always changing that up. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do.
Do you still use Michael Jackson?
It depends. Like some places I go and they're like, "Will you do this?"
Really?
I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'll do whatever."
Yeah, I think
I got a handful. I got a handful of different ways that I open or close shows, but I'll close on Beat It. I work with this he is world class Michael Jackson impersonator. His name is Michael Knight, and he is sensational. And he saw my Michael Jackson Beat It bit where I kind of break down the music video of just like how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love that. I just want to touch up some of the choreography. And I was like, yeah. And he just got down like all the little moves and the head twitches, and he made it look so crisp. Just one hangout with him. And now if I close on that joke, it's almost a guaranteed standing ovation, or at least a partial standing ovation.
Dude, he can dance, bro. It's fucking crazy. For a white guy, like
I love that.
Doing comedy, interpretive comedy, like to the music, it's fucking incredible to watch, man.
It's just unexpected when a dude that looks like a couch potato goes on stage and just fucking smashes single ladies, and like I know the choreography.
Doing all the leg kicks.
I act like it didn't just happen to him. Like, hey, guys doing? Like just right into it. They're like, what the fuck just happened?
And then he's just going into his set. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I started doing something like that early because the nerves you have before you go on stage you feel like you're about to pass out. Like in the beginning, your heart rate's so high, your adrenaline's up. So that was a way for me to get over my nerves and to speed up that get to know you phase. That was like a good greeting for audiences because it takes an audience 5 to 10 minutes minimum to decide if they like you or not.
Oh, shit.
And likability cannot be undersold in performance. And so if I can turn that 5 to 10 minute window into 30 to 45 seconds of me looking like an idiot, I disarmed the whole room, guys like me, girls like me, and then I shit on everybody equally. And it's like, oh, good, we're friends. But it also helped me settle my nerves.
Get rid of the nervous energy.
Oh, for sure.
smart.
Yeah. Put it somewhere.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's what we saw Mike Shields do the other night too.
Yeah, he did.
He came out with the dance and everything. I was like, what the fuck, Mike Shields?
That was out of nowhere. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
Mike Shields.
Yeah.
Okay, he's
MSP comedy.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty reserved
Yeah.
in person, and then he went up, and we're like, what the fuck? We've had him on the podcast 2 times. He's never shown that type of energy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But he killed. He had a
Yeah.
good set.
Yeah.
He
Good.
did.
I feel bad. I told this story last night. I love Michael Shields. He's gotten me into some gigs out there, all the tilted mug, all the usual suspects. I've only had to cancel 3 gigs in my entire career, entire 12 years. But one was with him and it wasn't his fault. The venue, we were in Midland, and I think I agreed to $500 and I wouldn't normally work for that rate. My rate is higher, but he said it's the first time in this restaurant, so they just want to see how it goes. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do it, absolutely. Love you, Michael. And then I'm out there and I have my friends out in Midland, so I got things to do. My friend calls me like 30 minutes before the show. He's like, have you been to the website of this restaurant? I was like, no. He's like, they're selling these tickets for $50 a piece. I was like, what? And he's like, and I've got at least 40, 50 friends that have already bought tickets. And apparently they sold over 200 tickets at $50 each.
Oh,
quick math,
shit.
10 grand.
10 grand.
And I'm getting 500. So I call Michael. I'm like, Michael, are you aware of what they're charging for tickets? He's like, I just found out. And I was like, well, out of respect for both of us, I hope you call them back and say, we're splitting it or we're not doing it. I don't think you should do this gig if they're not willing to pay you more, pay you for your time, your effort, yada, yada. And he's like, all right, I'll call him back. And then he called me back and he's like, yeah, we talked and something that she said made me understand. And he's just so nice that I was like, Michael, they are taking advantage of you. This isn't between you and I. This is between them and us.
Right.
And I want you to know that they're making 10 grand and we're going to walk away with 800 to split 4 ways.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Wow.
So if they're not coming up, then I'm off. Take me off. Like I hadn't even checked in the hotel they got me yet. I was like, I'll leave right now. I'll drive back to Austin. It's not a big deal to me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I guess I'm still going to do it. And I was like, I think you're making a mistake, but enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like he and 2 other guys had to fill the whole show and they said they enjoyed it, but
Okay.
what a fucking ripoff. That was just on morality alone. Like you're pulling in 10 grand and it's the first time. We want to see how it goes.
What is your overhead?
$50 tickets. I'm not a $50 ticket no matter
That's
what happens. Like
crazy.
nah, it's got to be a name for $50. Like it better be someone I know about.
Damn.
I'm morally opposed at every angle. Like I'm not even worth that. Stop it.
That's crazy. Like the comedians did it for free for us last night, right? How much did we make off of that? No, I'm kidding. We didn't make shit.
We didn't make shit off of that.
We're actually in a deficit.
I thought that was really cool that actual comedians showed up. Like we just know them from them being on our podcast.
Oh, you guys have a killer reputation out here. Yeah. People know you guys. Yeah.
Great to hear.
And I love hearing that you say that this product and this podcast, you see its potential, you see it taking off. So pedal to the metal, man. I know it sounds funny, but whatever you can do, whatever the consistency issue, whatever scheduling problems you have, make it a priority because it'll be slow and hard to get people to follow and listen consistently.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, you'll just be like, yo, we just jumped 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
We jumped 250 subscribers. You just don't know when, but consistency gets you there for sure.
Yeah. We had our first viral, like we're at like 420,000 views on a reel with Omar Gooding. And like, we're just watching it every 1,000. The first few days we were like, holy shit. Okay. We're at 50,000. This is fucking crazy. Do you think we're going to get to 100,000 within the next hour? And like, we were betting and then it was happening. And it just to see that part, like that's just a little glimpse of it.
Adrenaline rush.
Yeah. And it was, but it was also like, oh, okay. Like this is one reel. When this starts happening on a consistent basis, this is going to be insane and out of control in a good way, And one of the things that I heard Rogan say the other day, I think he, there was that musician guy, the redhead that he had on recently. Oliver Anthony. He called him on the phone. He was talking to him because he started blowing up, and he was like, man, things are getting crazy for me right now. And Rogan's like, the only piece of advice I can give you is don't take any deals right now. Those are all loans. That's all they are. You can do this shit. You have the talent. If you have the talent, you don't need to do anything. Just wait. Like, just wait for your fucking moment, and don't just bite on the first thing that comes your way. The money, you know. So you're gonna sell yourself out, and then you're fucked.
That's priceless advice.
Yeah,
seriously. Because with have you guys done stand up yet?
I know
done
you
it.
Have. Yeah,
I know you have.
once. Yeah. That's it.
Oh.
Like,
shut up.
Yeah.
I legit just thought you were a comic.
No.
When we knew each other, I just assumed you were in the scene. Well, when you start, your inclination is to take any gig that's offered to you.
Yes.
Especially paying gigs. You're like, where is it? I don't care. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And so I was stupid for years. I was driving to like the Michigan-Canadian border for $400, no hotel. And then I was going to Worms, Nebraska for $225, and they had a hotel. And then this one over here was $175, and I had to sleep on the owner's couch.
Damn.
And I'd come home, and if I counted the mileage, the food, and everything, I lost money.
Wow.
So I just took myself out of the game for 5 or 6 days of travel to not make any profits. And it took bringing my wife into the fold when she was just my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, I just booked a little run of 3. And she's like, oh, cool. Tell me about it. And I'm like, I'm going here for this, here for this, here for this. And she'd go, one question. What's the mileage? Okay. So that's okay. And then fuel average cost. And no, you're not taking that. And I was like, what do you mean I'm not taking that? And she's like, you would have to sell like $2,000 in merch to make that worth your time.
Wow.
And I was like, what do you mean? And she broke it down, and I was like, you're fucking right.
That's why I'm broke.
The power of no, like I remember just on that day, I remember one of those gigs was offering me 400, and I replied with, it would have to be 850 to make sense. This one would have to be this. And they were like, okay.
Wow.
I had never pushed back. And the same thing's happening with clubs right now. So between my schedule, I'm just very, very busy so that my time has become more valuable. So the clubs that I really love, I want to do those clubs for the rest of my life for personal relationships, but also the town I connect with. I have a good fan base out there. And my rate has always been like, and when you guys start headlining clubs, if you guys are interested in comedy, I'll just assume that if that's something you're into. When you start headlining clubs, the typical weekend rate can be anywhere from like $800 to $1,200 for 4 to 5 shows. Okay. And I've always been like, yeah, sign me up. That sounds fantastic. Baby, I'm making $1,200.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like that's a bad thing, but there are certain rooms where it's like you sell out 4 shows in a row, they're making, well over 15, 20 grand on the weekend, and you're walking out with that amount. Well, now I have a minimum that I'm trying to earn every single week. So it reaches my monthly amount that I'd like to hit. And so when clubs want to book me, my weekend rate is this. Yeah. And it's not crazy, but it is an amount that I don't leave my house for less than this now. I need this amount per week or I'm just not doing it. And every club's like, okay. And you don't know when that is going to happen. You don't know when that time comes. It's literally a timing, and you kind of figure yourself out and your worth, and your show gets better and better. And you're just like, you could blind at this point, and I'm still nowhere near where I want to be, but you could blindfold me and put headphones on my ears, lead me into a room, onto a stage, and take the blindfold off. And I could, in 2 or 3 seconds, assess the room, age, demographic, yada, yada, and deliver a set for that room, that audience right now that would kill and appropriate for all of them. But it took a lot. It took a lot of bombing. It took a lot of just because you suck. You suck and you don't know you suck. You're just enthusiastic. And then you suck less and less as you go on.
Do you still do mics?
No.
Never do mics?
And nothing against them. I live in a small town. I don't know the scene in Wichita. I'd have to drive an hour to go do a mic. So every when I'm on a stage, I'm on stages nonstop. So I'll just throw in new jokes.
That's when you're working.
That's my open mic.
That's crazy.
That's
mics they are what you put in. I started in Austin, and it's a great place. Lots of creative writers, fucking funny comedians. I think I got burned out on open mics because people were running the same 5 to 10 minutes all year long in preparation for the funniest person in Austin. And then if they didn't advance or win, they'd run that same set the whole next year and the whole next year.
Wow.
It got really like, it became less about a time to be creative and try new things. It was all about people getting like their nighttime television set honed in, but there was no nighttime television set in sight. They're just like, I'm going to be ready when it happens. And I'm like, why are we not being weird and experimental? This is where you shouldn't be afraid of failure. And instead they're coming out with their fucking choice nugs every open mic, crushing these rooms, looking like all-stars. And I'm like, but that's like, you're wasting an opportunity to kind of grow and become uncomfortable. That's where the best art gets made.
Yeah. Damn.
A lot of talent out there, but I think I just got ruined on open mics. It became more about socializing, spending money on alcohol, hanging out too late. And I was like, I get it, but I'm definitely like, I can make friends, but I'm definitely, I don't know. I'm probably more introverted than I might seem. Small groups, you guys are cool. You guys have been very cool, but like, I'm more comfortable on stage where I can control the narrative. It's a one-way conversation and and that's fun. And then I can vanish. But then like, if I'm in a small circle of people I don't know, I'm like, don't say something weird. Don't alienate these people. Don't. Cause I've lost my ability to socialize the more honest I get.
Yeah. I've been told, a few times, you should be a stand-up comedian. Like one time we were at the celebration for the Spurs winning the championship downtown and we got an Uber and I was just riffing in that Uber, just going, and she was like, boy, are you a stand-up comedian or what? And I was like, no. She's like, well, you should be. God damn, like you're funny as fuck. And I'm like, yeah. That I never put my mind to it. It's just we've always just been naturally funny with each other.
Was she black?
She was. Was that good? Was that good?
Yeah, you gave it away. Gave it away, bro. Jesus,
I was trying. And the girl that I mentioned, Michelle Cantu, she's becoming very, very popular in San Antonio because she's like rightfully so.
Yeah.
She reached out randomly a few weeks ago and was like, hey, do you or Flaws want to do, stand-up comedy for your first time? And I'm like, I wasn't really thinking about it, but, I know that he has been. And she's like, okay, well, it's a pizza place and it's a family restaurant, so it's got to be clean. And I'm like, he's not going to do it. So I tell him, he's like, nah, I can't do clean comedy.
That's an impossible first assignment.
But I was like, I felt like she's asking for a reason and she's kind of a big time comedian. This would be a great opportunity to be that's your first gig. And it's $25 you're going to make. Like you're going to get paid the first time you do comedy.
Yeah, that's not normal. That's not normal.
It's not normal. And it has to be a clean set. Right. And I walk in and it's like old white people. And I'm like, oh no, this is going to be rough. But it was a really good set. It got a really good reception. Yeah. Right. But for me, I was like, that was just a story. I was just telling the story. Are we getting food today?
No, not today.
Oh, damn. What a shame. So, because I have a disorder. I have an eating disorder. So that was the whole set was, I'm super picky. Like I don't eat chicken. I don't like chicken at all. And so, I won't try new food. And it's just like something, I just can't put it in my mouth. It's like jumping off a fucking cliff.
You're definitely on the spectrum somewhere.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And so
I have a friend who only ate like macaroni and cheese, chicken nuggets, and not really much like she'd have like string cheese. Like those were the 3 items that she would eat.
Pizza and hamburgers, plain hamburgers.
That's funny.
And it's very
you basically
limited.
Your diet stopped developing when you were like 5.
Pretty much.
Whatever was on that high chair tray, you're like, that's me forever now.
Yeah. So we started a
You have the same diet as the Ninja Turtles, bro.
Yes, dude, 100%. Those are my idols, bro.
Dude.
That's funny.
Yeah, I wanted to meet an April O'Neil and like settle down with her.
Do you think Donatello would eat this? Get it away from me.
Is this anchovies?
What is this vegetable?
So we started a segment where, they at first it started where they would have to bring me something that I've never eaten. And that's pretty much anything. And I would have to eat it on the podcast.
Fun.
And now we have an actual chef. And his whole life mission now, he's like, I can't stop thinking about you. He's like, I can't stop. Like, I'm thinking 4 or 5 weeks ahead of what, because he already has it all laid out what he's going to be making me. And he brings me he brought me 2 wraps, right? And he was like, I'm not going to tell you what's in them. You just got to eat it. And I don't eat greens at all. The crunch of the onions is like, oh.
And then now your body type makes less sense than it did before. You're living on the fattiest, trashiest food.
I should look like him.
As a rail.
I agree.
Damn. That's the second time though. Now it feels personal. You know,
no, trust me, this is every week.
This is light.
He's actually being being nice, I think, because he went so hard last night.
I did.
Hey,
wow.
everybody else at this table finds you terribly attractive.
No.
Nope.
They're lying. We talked about it. We were all nervous to be in your presence.
I think it's amazing you got that beautiful beard and then he's sitting there with that one.
This one, yeah.
Gross.
I like where you've grown it. Your body grows it exactly where your jawline stops.
It's crazy because these are genuine. Like, it's like, when like Michelle Cantu was complimenting him and I thought he felt kind of fake. He's being genuinely nice.
I'm getting to know you guys. I'd like to start off on
the Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, you should get shot in the head.
The Gabley gone.
Wow. Dude, that was a funny ass fucking meme that said Aaron Rodgers had more plays than Abraham Lincoln.
3 more plays.
Oh,
that's so funny.
That's fucked up.
Rox, bring up the Beans Eats reel, or not the reel, the video on the channel.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so he brought wraps. I had to eat it. And I bit into it and I was gagging the whole time. And then the next week he brought egg rolls. So I didn't know what was in the egg rolls, but it was genius because he's like, so I caught on. It was the crunch of the greens that made you gag. So you like fried shit. Obviously that's all you eat. He's like, so I gave you a fried egg roll to kind of silence the crunch there or
what meat was in it?
It was 3. One was tofu. The other one was chicken, some shit, right? No?
One was vegan. One was pure vegan.
Which one of your videos has the most views?
Eliza
1K.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know why.
Yes.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian shared her...
Yeah, Kim Kardashian shared one of her
TikTok videos.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, she used to work at Whataburger and she used to just make videos of loving working at Whataburger when everybody hates their job.
Yeah, she loved it. But we got whatever you like, dude.
But he told me to man up. This is like, it doesn't have nothing to do with being a man.
Man, this guy's really shaking.
The tension he gets.
This is the most brilliant segment.
It's like jumping off a
I wish this was every episode.
I thought it's supposed to be every episode.
No, it's not. Last
this
week
week it was because he was going to do it
she's
for
like,
the roast.
immediately as soon as you open it,
he had a family emergency also.
You could just see him just fucking freeze the fuck up and get all
I agree. Yeah, the first time I did it, they're like, you're really playing it for the camera. And I'm like, I'm not playing it. I'm scared. I don't like doing this.
I don't like anything.
Standing right here judging. Yeah. They brought me sushi one time and it was cold sushi and they let it sit out. So by the time it got to me, it was spoiled sushi.
El Chefe. That's funny.
Yeah, that's his name.
That's so brilliant.
God damn it. In exchange, I just redid his logo.
Oh, you never go with the dark
Bean
one, bro.
seats.
Yeah. Racist.
What?
Man. I don't even have any Coke. I was going to ask you to pick up some cocaine cola.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is I need water or some shit. It's not that I need anything, it's that I'm stalling.
Yeah.
You have to put it in a glass.
It's not good.
You can see his jaw clench.
His whole body is changing colors. Like, you went from brown to now you're pink. You're like really upset.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that dip on it too. It's so good.
Yes, it's supposed to be good. I mean, if I liked food, it would be good.
It's
a lot of buildup. Sorry.
I just want you to try so many things now.
I know. That's what the chef is like. He's
massaging his throat, so he's ready to.
Like you've never had pork belly tacos. You've never had.
I would eat pork belly.
He just needs
It's easier said than
Elotes?
done. No,
it's
easier
good.
than like fucking rappers in San Antonio together.
That is one of the best.
No,
flavors.
I want to like that shit. Even though I'm trying this stuff, I just have to take one bite. That doesn't mean I'm liking any of this.
Have you ever had like burnt end brisket?
Just the burnt part?
ends.
I would
Yeah.
eat that.
Oh,
I would
good.
love that. Yeah. I'm all about beef. Yeah.
That was it. That was the climax. It went.
No, there wasn't a climax. You haven't put it in your mouth yet.
The episode that I'm producing, I actually liked the food, the second dish that he got me.
I'm gonna do it.
And I didn't think I was gonna like it. I
This
was
is my kink.
Shit.
And I was fucking trying to put stuff in your mouth. Fuck yeah, dude.
It usually helps the guy.
And then we found that the Lord of the Rings music really helps me.
So we didn't think that it was like
get it down.
a real thing.
Yeah, right there.
Just go, bro. Just throw it in your mouth. You ain't never been no bitch.
Every week I'm a bitch.
Ooh, that was a nice crunch, though.
Oh, that was a nice
You got
crunch.
a nice crunch to that. Oh, it's not that bad. Look, he's not like
regurgitating it.
He doesn't have that cringe look on his face. Shout out, Rox.
Stop talking.
The amount of effort that's taking.
It wasn't the food, it was
crazy.
your fucking voice.
Make me sick.
If I look at you, I might finish on.
He's got it cheeked.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's torture now. Now it's sad. That music
hard.
made it sad.
I know it did.
It turned it into a drama from a comedy.
Drink.
Oh, you're watching a man survive something.
That was delicious.
It's gotta like take a little jab at the chef too. He's like, but I really tried.
I know. I keep
That's my whole
apologizing
life.
to him. I'm like, this is the worst advertisement for your food, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do this? to
I
yourself?
think just bring enough for everybody so that you
Yes.
can see how
Yeah,
normal
so
people.
I usually eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, she
She's
cut
like,
the video.
this
off, but-
fucking slams. Like I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, he eats it, but like he'll eat anything. So I guess that's not even good too, because like he's gonna like it.
I'm going to
never
shout
focus.
out a restaurant that I was just in Kingsville and I performed at a restaurant called Elena's Cocina y Cantina.
Mhm.
And
Dude, you're gonna sell
everything.
them out now.
everything I got from their kitchen was amongst the best I've ever had.
Really?
Everything. They took
Tex-Mex?
But it's but it's I would say it's more genuine Mexican food. It's more authentic.
Oh, shit.
But like they had a pork belly taco, and then they had some really interesting stuff. Like I got a combo of 3 tacos, but it was like Korean barbecue, pork belly, and then some kind of chicken bacon ranch. It's fucking wild.
Damn.
And then even their beans and rice. You can tell if it's a good Mexican restaurant by the beans and the rice. That is the building block.
Yeah.
And
If the rice doesn't
it's
have
like
peas.
Oh, they were both perfect. They were both seasoned and cooked perfectly. And I'm like, when you're excited about the things that most people forget about, that lets me know how much attention you paid to everything else.
It's true.
It was phenomenal. So
Damn,
if you're in
Atlanta's Casino.
Kingsville, you got a place.
Yes, don't take your weed there.
Oh, no, you can take it there. You just
Yeah,
can't
don't
take
get
it
caught.
away.
Oh yeah.
No. There's no border check there. You're good.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they stopped me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
That's
don't
what they-
be an idiot.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, don't speed in a construction zone.
Yeah.
Dude, how do I remember that? That was like 15 years ago, 17.
Right? Our brains, I was telling him
Fuck.
the other day, it's weird that like our brains remember so much shit. Like you could remember a song that you haven't like heard in like 10 years, but if it comes on, you just automatically know every single
Every
fucking word.
Dude.
That's fucking weird, dude.
No, think about here's what my brain holds on to. Anytime I felt like I was unfairly rude to someone, that's always in here for the rest of my life.
Really?
There was one time in high school, I feel like I kind of crossed a line and talked to my friend like very sternly. I felt like I was being disrespected, so I came strong with what I said, and then I've hated myself for that
Wow.
moment. If I ever see him again, I'm gonna put my arms around him and be like, "What the fuck was I talking?" He probably doesn't even think about it.
Wow.
But
yeah.
like the weight, or I could have helped, or there was I have like deep regret when I drive past someone and I see they have a flat tire on the side of the road, and I know I can be helpful in this scenario.
Yeah.
But I have somewhere to be. I just like I'll for the next 30 to 45 minutes, I've ruined my mood and where my brain is. And so when I can stop, it's like it fuels my soul for sure.
Damn.
Didn't we talk about that the other day about
stopping and helping people? And I don't do that anymore, but I used to like always do that. But I don't.
If you ever, this is true. If you ever feel like your emotional bank account is empty, it's drained, it's overdraft, the way to fill it back up, to recharge your battery, is to give to anyone else, anyone that needs. And I don't mean financially, but just holding the door for someone, carrying groceries. Let me help you pack up if you have to move to your new apartment. It's just giving your time to someone else's difficult time or a time of need. And I swear it's like it's a magical way, the return on investment. And that's not why you do it.
Yeah.
But if you're in the dumps, you're at the bottom, that's the quickest way to get back to the top and be like, shit's not as bad as I thought. Not even close.
Do you have neighbors?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because I picture this church like this in the middle, like this fucking
I can't.
painting.
I was like, I'll show you a picture. I can't.
Why? Oh, it's on your phone.
Actually, if you have Instagram pulled up, you can see it. It's a small, little, manageable church. Go to. It's a different Instagram page. I'm sure I have it posted up here somewhere, but
just hit search to. I was gonna call you too.
Dudes.
And then saving grace. .1908.
Your house has its own Instagram page?
Yeah.
Wow. What?
Wow.
That's your house?
Yeah. My wife has turned it into a greenhouse.
Oh my God.
That's an 18-foot tall hand-painted memorial window that predates our building by 50 years. It was in Salina, Kansas, in a different church that they had to tear down, so they donated the windows to one of their sister Episcopal churches.
Y'all's bed is where they baptize kids,
dude. That's where the priest. That's where they used to have the. What do you even call it? Sermon.
Yes, it is.
And the choir would sit up there. We got our bed there. Jesus is at the other end of the church.
Watching you all?
Directly into my asshole when we have sex.
That's badass, dude.
Dude.
That's Orso.
He is living the American dream.
It's a cute little man. It's a manageable size for sure. That's Wu-Tang. That's Guinness.
Does the sky get very starry at night? Oh, look at that with
when it
snow.
Snows. I just mean it's a wonderful place to spend time. It's a really nice place to be. It's got good energy.
I'm so happy for you.
Thanks, man.
Damn.
It's definitely. I feel very lucky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look at it at night. That lights up. That's what it looks like at night for us.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna text my wife. We're buying a church, honey.
You got a
and got a badass deal. Like it's incredible what you can find if you.
How long have y'all been there?
Over 2 years. Like, look at that. That was hand painted in 1870.
So your house has a parking lot?
Yeah. Yeah. The direct parking lot, it only holds like 6 or 7 cars, but street parking. I guess
Is that Jesus watching your butthole?
Yeah. Holding a lamb.
He's not looking. He's like, I'm not looking.
But he's looking.
What if one day you look back? What if one day you look back and he was looking?
All right. And he's got that stick that he's holding and he's just like ready to poke you right in the butt with it.
That's so cool, man.
That is dope, dude. That you just like, I don't even think like before today, I would have never thought people buy churches and then live in them.
My grandma bought a church and she turned it into a bar.
That's kind of the same.
Yeah. And she called it La Iglesia. The bar was named the church in Spanish.
Where are you going? I'm going to church.
And then she went to prison because she was actually housing
immigrants,
illegal aliens on her land.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's badass, dude.
It's not popular yet.
What is that middle picture though? Is that there at your house?
Yeah.
No. Of y'all two.
Oh no, we're in. We might be on a cruise ship, or we might be in Vegas. I'm not sure.
Does your wife go with you?
Yeah. She joins me.
Oh, all the time?
Just as often as she can. Now
cool.
She recently started working for Wichita State as a conference coordinator, which is like big events that she plans. So her schedule got a lot less open, but we have a second income now, and we're like feeling the benefits of that immediately. So for like the last 7 years, we were just working on Comedy Money, doing just fine.
Yeah.
And then I switched agents, and money got, whenever you change agents, things slow down because it's like you have to be reintroduced and the booking and all that just took some time to get back on board. And so she went and grabbed a job, and then my bookings went back to normal. And now we're just like, this is nice. Like having 2 stable incomes, like we're basically debt free, which is nice. Like as a comedian, you just might have to prepare yourself just to carry debt for a long time. That's the truth.
I'm used to it.
Because there's no money in comedy that unless you make it to a good level, there's no way to pay off those debts. But now we've chipped it all down. And
does she think you're funny?
Yeah. No, I always tell her, you don't have to, like, we go to shows. I'm like, you don't ever have to watch my shows. You know that. And she's like, but I do still genuinely make her laugh, because even though they're the jokes I've been telling for a while, I still never tell them the exact same every time. I'm telling this audience tonight, and I'm telling it so it feels spontaneous and brand new. So in those moments and not having a blueprint that I have to follow, I know what the story was. I fucking lived it. So I'm going to tell this audience tonight how I feel about that story tonight. So it feels like it's fresh, it's off the cuff. And sometimes it's fun to catch her off guard. I can hear her cackling in the back, but
laughing like me when Rich fell.
She's fun. She's so fun. She's funnier than me for sure, like wittier. Because all the time now, she gets really disappointed when I don't get her jokes. She'll say something and I'll just like keep driving. She's like, you missed a really good joke. And I was like, what? Oh, that is funny. And we're jaded. So when something is funny, we say, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be offensive, but people are like, well, why didn't you laugh? And I'm like, no, it was funny. It's funny, baby. I just wasn't listening. I'm a bad listener.
Is she a comedian as well?
No.
She doesn't do it at all?
Never.
Wow.
She doesn't want to either, because she's married to a comedian. And anytime you've heard of like couples in comedy and then one starts to do comedy, they think it's because of the other one. Or like her gigs would all be booked because of me kind of thing. And she's like, no, I don't want any of that scrutiny. She doesn't have any interest, but she is exceptionally funny.
That's hilarious.
And she gives me a great point of view. So like after a show, she'll be like, hey, that joke, it's funny, but when you said this, it threw people off. Try it this way.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah, just to give me like a non-comics view of how it's being received. And that's useful because I have no idea how they see me.
Damn. Well, shout out to your wife, man. I think y'all have a great thing together. I've watched it from far, like I said. I assumed that you went away, quite a bit from her. That's why I was like, dang, man, she holds it down.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a military relationship.
But you all still have it. What you can see from social media was that you still have that closeness, and it's genuine. Like your comments to him were genuine. It kind of translates in y'all's social media that it's genuine. It's not what a lot of couples do is they're posting all their good times on social media, but
no.
Most of my relationships
work like anything, but it's like I said, I'm grateful to be able to be in a position to work at something. I'm grateful to be in a position to help that church last another 100 years. I'm putting myself of just being constantly grateful for what is being offered. Like it's not lost on me at all, the opportunities and the position we're in.
That's awesome. We appreciate you coming.
Dude, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this.
Damn.
Honestly, when you said, can we move it to noon?
Yeah.
I was so sleepy. I was just waking up. I set my alarm at 9 so that I could get ready and leave by 10 and get here by 11. And he's like, you want to come at noon? I was like, oh, fuck yes. News.
Perfect. Good. And thank you for your patience with all those delays.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to take too much
2
time.
hours.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
We try to go 3 hours, but I want to cut it down because we had that whole delay and then we still got to transfer that shit.
For sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much, John. What do you have coming up? Or how can they find you on the socials if you want them to find you?
Go to johnstringer.com, JONSTRINGER.com, and all my social media is there.
Awesome. Yes, thank you, John. Thank you for coming.
Having me.
Yeah.
And we try to not let it be known that you were here. You're welcome.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Well, that's what he asked for.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Just act like you're not here. We're just doing a podcast.
Yeah.
He forgot. He's like, that was 2 hours ago.
No. Yeah. I was like, what, you purposefully did not tell people that I was joining your podcast? Am I canceled? What did I do?
Get back at the castle. so pole on tuck. If these eyes want battle, they gon' eat shells. I'ma feed them ammo. Barrel got big knife, call it big Rambo. Pour another cup, baby. Go ahead, smoke some weed. Hit that telegram, yeah, you know I got what you need. I love all my hoes. I ain't never met no team.
Let's go.
Are we good? We in?
We're in.
Totally in the frame.
Yes, sir.
Mic check. Okay, cool.
And I feel like I gotta get away.
All right.
Okay.
I won't do that again for another year.
What's that?
Be that unprepared.
Hey, put your eye to this. Does that look like a decent shot?
Perfect shot.
No.
But his eye usually sucks because
He's got a discerning
like, is
eye
that good?
for
And
detail.
then I look.
No, it's really good.
It's sharp. And I got it
Oh,
on.
y'all don't trust me.
No,
I hate
Beans
being
doesn't trust
untrusted.
anybody is what it is.
I hate being untrusted. That's what I